There's Tom.
Oh, what a beautiful man.
I like Gronkowski.
We know, Trish. We've all read your Gronk erotica.
It's not erotica. It's fan fiction. Very sexy fan fiction.
Well, I hope you found that funny, because that is literally the majority of this movie. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised that it took us this long to get to one of the year's worst movies already. Let's delve into the nightmare that is 80 for Brady. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. And on that optimistic note, welcome to another edition of Talking About the Movies. And, you know what? What are we, 5-6 weeks into 2023, and we already have our first candidate for one of the year's worst movies, and that is, of course, 80 for Brady, which is basically the story about four friends, Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno, and Sally Field. They go to Houston in 2017 to see Tom Brady and the New England Patriots play Atlanta, which is, of course, the infamous 28-3 game, and that's it. That's what this whole movie is about. You know, out of all the stories about the fans in the NFL that could have been made, we could have had a great movie made about the three guys who have been to every single Super Bowl. They do a story about them every single year. There could have been a great opportunity to do a movie about them first, but nope. We got to do the story about how one of the most overrated quarterbacks and one of the most overrated teams in NFL history is made Atlanta collapse like they usually do in what some people call the greatest game in Super Bowl history. And yeah, you can tell I'm not a big fan of this movie, and it starts with the obvious reason, and that is because it's the fact that I have to relive this nightmare from 2017. I mean, in case you haven't realized it already, I'm from Western Pennsylvania. My team is the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we've had 3 opportunities to play in the AFC Championship game and go to the Super Bowl. And you know what happened during those 3 chances? Fucking Tom Brady and the New England Patriots beat us and not beat them, and in the worst ways possible too. Like, it's like moments that are just like are etched into every Steeler fan's memory. And we have the other three championship games that we've been to, where we went to the Super Bowl. Of course, we won in 2005, 2009, 2011. We lost it at Green Bay, but the fact that the other three of those ones have been against this fucking team, the New England Patriots. Like, and I'm just gonna start right off by I'm gonna get away from that, because believe me, I want to make this all about me hating the New England Patriots because of what they did to the Steelers. Now, the Steelers get off easy in this movie. I mean, it's only in the beginning that we have to deal with this, but Atlanta fans, you're going to hate yourself if you go see this movie, because you have to relive this nightmare. Like I said, Atlanta gets the worst of this movie because you have to relive this horrendous nightmare when you were up 28-3, and the Falcons do what the Falcons do best, and that's choke on their own shit, and they get New England back in this game, and everybody all of a sudden thinks it's New England doing what New England does best. And really, New England just got lucky. Like, New England really has gotten lucky in most of their Super Bowl wins. Like, really think about it. Really think about all the times they've won the Super Bowl. There's only been a couple of times when New England legitimately kind of earned it. I think the one they really earned it was the last one they did with Tom Brady when they were with the Rams. But that was the Rams because the Rams were so... like, they were so out of it in that game. Like, they were so like, wow, we made a Super Bowl, and they didn't realize they had to play a game against New England, and New England really didn't have to do much to win that game, but they were a better team in that game. Like, that was one where, like, that's one of the ones where I felt like they legitimately earned it, because really, that's what they actually played the game instead of just sitting there being starstruck and being like, wow, we're here, while somebody else is scoring touchdowns on you to win the game. But I'm just rambling on about what about this movie here? Why do I hate this movie so much? I mean, we could start off with right from the get-go. This movie feels like something that should not have been released in theaters. They only released this in theaters because Tom Brady's in it. He's gonna make his big feature film debut as a leading actor in here. He's a producer in here, and he's got these stars with him: Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno, Sally Field. And I'm not saying anything bad about Tom Brady as an actor. I mean, we've seen Tom Brady act before, and he's been really funny when he actually has been in decent stuff. Like, he's been in episodes of The Simpsons. I mean, last night I just watched the Family Guy episode again where he's in it. He's actually pretty funny in there. He even has a good cameo in Ted 2. I mean, the guy can be really funny. I think the guy can be a very good charismatic actor, but this whole movie is just a showcase. It's just a gloated showcase for Tom Brady. Like, his greatest accomplishment is for what people assume is his greatest accomplishment, coming back down 28-3, which it's not easy to do, which is not that hard to do when you consider that it's against the Atlanta Falcons. Like, and it's just, I'm sorry, like, I can't really get into this movie when it's just nothing but a glorified movie about Tom Brady and his success that year. It's just like people want to compare this to like Space Jam, the Space Jam movies, Michael Jordan and LeBron James boasting their egos there. Where, I mean, Michael Jordan at least was doing it because it was like in a parody style. Like, it really didn't feel like he was just all over this movie talking about his great achievements and all that. And even then, that's like at the beginning of the movie. It's like with the second movie as well with LeBron James. But like, Michael Jordan didn't need to do a whole lot of acting in that movie. He just had to be Michael Jordan. And I think LeBron James had a tougher task to do it, and it definitely showed. There were times where he could really be choppy in terms of his acting when he's on screen. I mean, when he's a voice actor, he's not that bad. And we've seen him act in movies before where he's actually been pretty good. Like in Trainwreck, he was very good in that film. But yeah, a lot of people are going to compare the Space Jam movie stills, but there's a difference to this movie. Like another reason why I don't like this movie is because it wastes really good talent. Look, I like Lily Tomlin. I like Jane Fonda. I like Rita Moreno. I like Sally Field. These are great actresses who have proven their worth over the years. They each have a total of 5 Oscars between them. There's Oscar nominations from all 4 of them. These people can be really good actors when you put them in good stuff and actually stuff that actually works for them. But here, they're just not really doing anything. They're not really doing anything to actually do something worthy of their abilities as actors. They're just kind of like, they're just there to play these roles, and then just, that's it. Like, I mean, I don't know what was going on with the writing for this movie. Like, that's probably another reason why I really hate this movie, is that it's that typical comedy that I cannot stand. I cannot stand the safe, marketable comedy where there's no real consequences. There's nothing. It's like, I'm always of the belief that in comedy, something bad has to happen in order for the true effect to be really funny. Like, nothing about the jokes in this movie are funny. There is not a single moment in this movie where I laughed. There's not a single moment in this movie that I thought was even legitimately funny. Like, it just wasn't funny. And it's the type of humor that the type of audience that's going to go see this movie is going to really appreciate. And that's just the safe, Lifetime-esque style comedy. As you see, my lighting went out again. I don't know why that keeps doing that, but like, the jokes aren't funny. Like, there's nothing funny about any of the material here. This is like Mamma Mia style comedy where nothing bad has to happen. Like, the comedy just has to come from Howard is like stuff that we're just throwing at the wall, and just like anything is like, we don't care if it sticks. Just keep laughing. Like, it's not funny. Nothing about this movie is funny whatsoever. And another reason why I really don't like this movie is because we've seen movies like this. Like, this movie reminded me so much of the Sex and the City movies. Like, you remember the Sex and the City movies where those movies, they were really a lackluster version of what made the TV show so special. They were only there for the movies seemed like they were only there to just get the girls together for a girls' night out. To, get drunk, talk about what kind of shoes you're wearing, what clothes you're wearing, and then when they come home and you're asking them, how'd the movie go, and they go like, wait, I saw a movie? Because that's exactly what this movie is. Like, women don't care about this. Women don't care about this movie. They only care about seeing the four leading actresses in here: Tomlin, Fonda, Moreno, and Sally Field. They don't really care about football. They don't really care about Tom Brady here. This movie is a lame attempt to cover up a girls' night out movie with a movie that they're going to drag the husbands to because, hey, Tom Brady's in and you love him. Let's go see his movie. And it's just like, I can't do that to myself. I can't tell people to see this movie because it has no reason to exist on a big screen. This is the type of movie that should have gone straight to Paramount Plus. This should have been a straight-to-streaming movie. But because Tom Brady's in it, he's got to be the centerpiece of the world. I'm sorry. I hate Tom Brady as an athlete. He's probably a nice person in real life. He's probably a cool guy, but I just hate seeing him as a person. Like, I hate seeing him as an athlete because of the the mayhem he's caused the NFL since he's been here. Yeah, some people say he's changed the game for the good, but you also open up the Pandora's box where you have all these obnoxious nitwit fans that keep coming up to you every single time, trying to convince you that he's one of the greatest football players of all time. And I mean, maybe that's the case, but I'm sorry, he's not the greatest quarterback of all time. I can name 3 other quarterbacks who are so much better than him: Peyton Manning, Brett Favre. Hell, I'll even throw in Terry Bradshaw too. Not even for the Steelers, but because of what he did. I mean, make that 4. Joe Montana. Like, look at what Joe Montana did with the 49ers. Like, you get my point. You get my point there. But I've been criticizing a lot here, but is there anything about this movie that is legit salvageable? Is there anything in there that I actually did kind of like? Well, I mean, like I said, the actresses themselves are not terrible. Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno, Sally Field. They're given a really good performances for the stuff that they have to do here. And you know what? I've criticized Tom Brady enough. I'll give him credit, though. Like I said before, I think Tom Brady can be a really good actor. I've seen him make fun of himself in TV shows and movies, and I think in here when it's not behind this fabrication of something that happened before. Like, I think he actually has some legitimate moments in here where it's just like, I see the potential of what you can do as an actor. Now that you're retired officially, again, we'll see what happens because we've been through this Pandora. What am I saying? We ain't been through this before, but there is potential there. If he ever wants to try doing acting and actually play a character, there's a chance for him to do that. I mean, Rob Gronkowski has proven he can be a decent actor. He's been one of the few things I've liked in a couple of movies that have not been very good. Like, there was this crime film he did a couple years ago, which, let me see if I can remember it here. I'm actually online looking for it right now. It's American something. I can't remember what it's called, though. Where is it? Dead air. Where are you? Oh, American Violence. Like, American Violence is not a very good movie, but I see Rob Gronkowski in there, and it's just like, okay, I can definitely see what you could do as an actor. I think you do a decent enough job, but yeah, here it's just like whenever they're not just phoning it in, they are legitimately trying their best here, and I think there is potential there for it to become good actors if they really want to take that next chance. I mean, Terry Bradshaw's had success as an actor. Jim Brown has had success as an actor. We've seen athletes have success in the world of acting, so I guess this wouldn't be too crazy of an idea to do. But yeah, other than that, though, like, another thing that I should bring up that I really didn't like about this movie is that it doesn't care about the fabric of time or continuity, because right from the get-go, the movie starts off in Boston. Of course, it takes place at the start of the AFC Championship game in 2017, which took place at nighttime. But there is literally in that same scene, the 4 main characters are sitting there in the daytime. This game was played at 6 o'clock that night, so they're in Boston. That makes no sense on how this game takes place in Boston, and it's daytime in one scene and nighttime in the other. That makes no sense whatsoever, and it just shows you the ineptitude of this movie's existence. Like I did go. Some of you are probably thinking I went in there ready to hate it, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There was a little bit of me that was ready to go in to hate it, but there was a little bit of me that also wanted to go in there and be more optimistic. Like, I saw the trailers. I didn't think it looked that great. This was something that could have been sent straight to Paramount Plus, and nobody really would have made a difference. But I had to really look at myself and say, you know what? You got to go in there. You got to give it the benefit of the doubt. Like, that's the thing that you have to do as a film reviewer. You have to as Roger Ebert once said in a criticism review, you have to let the movie have its day in court. Well, I gave it the best shot I could, but even I couldn't take it I couldn't take it as I was literally ready to walk out at one point. But I stuck with it, and I'm honestly kind of hoping I'm glad I didn't, but I'm also I wish I did, because nothing really of noteworthiness came out of this movie for me at all. There was no reason for this movie to be put on a big screen. There was no reason for me to spend money to see this on a big screen when I could have seen this on Paramount Plus. I mean, like, I don't know. I really didn't like this movie at all. I thought it was a major, major misfire on so many levels. There was no reason for it to be seen on a big screen. It should have been straight to streaming, but because you have the name brand there, because you have Tom Brady there, you got to put it on a big screen. And more power to you if you liked it, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It's one of the worst movies I've seen so far this year, and at least I know it's going to get worse than this. It's going to get worse than this in 2023. So hopefully there's a good chance that this will not be the worst film I see this year. So, I mean, obviously it's going to be because we have so many more months to go. But yeah, as you could probably tell, this is a big thumbs down for me on this movie. I really did not enjoy this movie at all, and yeah, just not a very good film whatsoever. So anyway, on that note, finally got that out there. At least next week we'll be at least on a much more positive note. I hope Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out. I'll have a review for that here. And that's it for this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care.